In The Lord of the Rings The Two Towers, Viggo Mortensen's Aragorn is seen kicking a helmet as an expression of frustration as he thinks Merry and Pippin have died. That scene, according to director Peter Jackson, required 4 initial takes, after which the filmmaker decided to give Mortensen one last try. During that final take, which is included in the movie's final cut, Mortensen lets out a drown-out primal scream after hitting the helmet and falls to his knees. The reason for this added intensity, it turns out, is due to the fact that Mortensen broke 2 toes when kicking the helmet and integrated the pain into his performance as Aragorn. Stunt doubling is a challenging and respectable profession. It requires a great deal of professionalism and attention, although this doesn't always prove sufficient to prevent accidents. The date was August 15, 2017. The filming of Deadpool 2 was ongoing, and preparations were being made for a motorcycle scene featuring the fortunate character Domino. The stunt woman for this scene was Joy Harris. She was not just a stunt double. She had started riding motorcycles in 2009 and had been professionally racing since 2014, becoming the first African-American woman with a motorcycle road racing license. As the shooting began, the first take was successful and they retook it multiple times. They achieved 4 successful takes and the 5th take began. Unfortunately, Joy lost control, colliding with the glass portion of the ground floor of Shaw Tower building. The crowd initially thought it was a scene from the film. The reality became apparent shortly afterward. Joy had lost her life at the scene. We've been hearing the same sound in movies and TV shows for 70 years. This is such a sound that it's been almost used in 400 different movies and TV shows. The Wilhelm Scream. The first usage of the scream is heard in the film Distant Drums. However, the iconic moment that gave the scream its name is from the film The Charge at Feather River. This man's name is Wilhelm. That's where the Wilhelm Scream comes from. During those years, due to the expensive production of sound effects, the same scream was repeatedly used in different films. The popularity of the Wilhelm Scream increased when it was used in Star Wars and Indiana Jones films. Afterwards, the scream became a tradition and found its place in many famous films. Did you ever notice this scream? Look what Tom Holland did. He suggested that it might be a good idea for him to go to a real high school before taking on the role of Spider-Man. Actually, he was just joking, but Marvel took it way too serious.
Well, it was a joke. I said, wouldn't it be funny if I went to an American high school undercover to see what it would be like to be an American high schooler? And Marvel were like, that's amazing. Let's set it up. The next thing I know, I was like, had a backpack with a pencil case on my way to Bronx School of Science.
Oh boy. Didn't let you go to actual class?
Yes, yeah, I went to school with a fake name.
He actually went to Bronx High School of Science with a fake identity. Even the teachers didn't know about this. But did nobody notice?
So I sat at the back of a classroom next to quite a pretty girl, and she's like, so dude, what's your deal? How are you here? I was like, well, let me tell you my secret. I'm actually Spider-Man. She's like, dude, you're fucking nuts, bro. What the hell? Really?
The director of the movie Fight Club, David Fincher, filmed the fight scene between Edward Norton and Brad Pitt multiple times. Fincher, who requested the stunt double to fall down the stairs 12 times for this scene, ultimately ended up using the footage from the initial take in the film. Also, if you look closely at the scene, you may notice a minor filming mistake. Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to continue his scene in Django Unchained by just slamming his hand on the table. However, when he accidentally cut his hand, he not only continued the scene without stopping, but also integrated the situation into the performance.
Hey! Lay your palm flat on that tabletop! Now considering y'all have ridden a whole lot of miles, he's my property. And I can choose to do with my property whatever I so desire. This nigga here is too steep. What I'm gonna decide is...
For the movie A Separation, even before there was a script in place, the image that first appeared in director Asghar Farhadi's mind was that of a man watching his father with Alzheimer's. Farhadi shaped the entire scenario in his mind around this bathing scene. Even the backstage crew couldn't control their emotions during the shooting of this scene. A Separation is the first Iranian film to win an Oscar. As you know, it's often the stunt doubles rather than the stars who feature in action scenes. A young gymnast named David Holmes began working as Harry Potter's stunt double during the filming of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Due to his physique resembling Harry's over the years, he continued as Harry's double throughout the series. In action scenes like those involving broomsticks or duels, it was David Holmes taking the place of Daniel Radcliffe. That is until an accident occurred in the last film. During the filming of Deathly Hallows Part 2, in a scene where Harry jumped into the air after an explosion, due to an accident where the rope that was supposed to slowly pull David Holmes from behind rapidly jerked, causing him to hit a wall, breaking his neck and leaving him paralyzed. Following this unfortunate accident, producers and cast members frequently visited him over time. A documentary titled David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived, which is based on David's life, was produced, with Daniel Radcliffe taking on the role of executive producer. Perhaps you've seen this logo hundreds of times while watching the movies, but have you ever noticed that the Dreamworks kid in the logo often gets bullied? It all starts in the opening of Bee Movie, where the bee stings the kid, leading to quite a painful fall. Then, in Madagascar 2, the penguins physically assault the kid. Next, in Monsters vs. Aliens, the kid gets abducted by aliens. And in the movie Home, something similar happens. So, just like Pixar's Eye, they constantly bully this innocent kid.